Rather than to make a motion, you just say, as moved.
Right. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Berwick Select Board meeting of Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. Call this meeting to order. All Select Board members are present with the exception of Chair Noah Cobb. Is he online? Can you see that?
No, he's not.
Don't see him.
Noah is absent at the moment. He may join us later. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so let's begin with the approval of the meeting minutes dated August 1st, 2023. Has everyone had an opportunity to review them?
Yep, I have. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? All those opposed? Passes. Okay, we're going to take things a little bit out of order this evening. And we're going to move down to new business, and going to have the tax commitment.
Afterwards.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
If you want to step up there, please. Thank you.
All right, good evening. My name is Paul McKenney, work for Municipal Resources. I'm one of the assessors for the town, contract assessors. So the memo that I've presented shows the prior year comparison spreadsheet that you can see that the town's total taxable real estate valuation base increased by $13,145,250,000, which is about a 1.8% increase over last year's. The increase due primarily to continued new residential and commercial construction. Personal property decreased by $1,618,845, 23.35% decrease. And the Betty exemption or reimbursement increased by $1,053,339, which is a 59% increase from 2022 to 13 tax year. And this is due to, because we certified at a lower ratio this year, we had to reduce those values along with the standard depreciation. So it brought all those personal property values down. When we do the reevaluation next year, that'll all come back up to 100%, and we'll recapture most of that value. Spreadsheet shows that the county tax appropriations increased by roughly 6.4%. Municipal appropriations and school education appropriations increased by 1.7% and 4.2% respectively. The TIF amount of $66,960 is a significant increase over last year's $28,440, an increase of $28,441, which is an increase of 73.8% over last year due to the growth of the former prime tanning site. State revenue sharing remained the same at $1.4 million. On the spreadsheets following the municipal tax rate calculation, I have attached a spreadsheet showing the potential range of overlay amounts depending on the tax rate selected. The minimum tax rate that could be selected is $18.28, while the maximum rate is $19.18. For every penny changed in the tax rate, the overlay changes by $7,925. In consideration of the noted changes in valuation, appropriations, and revenues, it is our suggestion that a tax rate of $18.32 with an overlay of $35,000 be selected. This is an increase from last year's rate of $18.22. So I'm looking for a vote or answer any questions to decide which tax rate you'd like. The three that I've got is $18.30, which is a overlay of $21,534, $18.32, which is what I'm recommending for $37,386, and $18.34 would be $53,239. one thing I just want. So for a taxes on a $350,000 assessment, last year was $6,377. This year would be $6,412, which would be a $35 difference on a $350,000 house, or 0.55% of an increase.
Now, to get the ball rolling, I'll make a motion that we set our tax rate at $18.32.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to recommend the 18.32 tax rate. All those in favor?
I'd like to have a little
Oh,
further
sorry.
discussion first.
I apologize.
Well, you're talking about the personal property tax that decreased by $1.6 million. You said you expect that to be brought back up when we do the reassessment?
Yeah, a lot of those, because we had to reduce the ratio to 85% from 90% last year, it brought a lot of properties below the $10,000 minimum. So therefore, they're not taxable at all. So that's where the biggest part of it comes. But next year, when we do the reevaluation, everything will be back up to 100%. So therefore, those will come back. We'll get those accounts back, and whatever new accounts we have. I'm sure that the project across the street will also generate more personal property business as well.
So after we do our reevaluation, is the reevaluation, how long do you expect that to take? Just the 1 year? Or?
Yeah, it'll go into effect for the April 1st, 2024 values. So I'll start it as soon as we get done here.
Yeah, we got the paperwork in the mail yesterday.
Yeah, we'll probably start in September, October.
Okay.
Once everything gets finalized, and we'll start looking. We've already started looking at sales and stuff, but we'll get into the full swing of things this fall.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a comment? No? All those in favor? Any opposed?
Thank
you,
you very
Paul.
much. Yep, good, thank you. Thank you for taking me early.
You're welcome.
I've had a long week so far.
You're welcome. Okay, so I would like to go back then to public comment. Anybody for public comment?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. So we have no public comment. We have no public hearing. Reports of committees.
Hello. A couple of things. The first is that the BCM committee chose the BCM sign that you see on the front of this page right here. Basically, it would go on the front side of the building, just under the red light. And what we're looking, it's just small, but it will point out BCM as being around the corner. We had talked about having a section that said Burgess Meeting Room. The cost went up considerably for that, so we decided not to do that piece. If you would like that piece and the town is willing to pay for it, I'd be happy to add it on, but just for the BCM sign, I figured we'd go with the smaller one. And then the second thing is we're doing a summer fun video contest. One of the things I've seen is on Facebook is people have been saying, what do you do? We just moved to the area. What do you do for fun with your kids? Or where do you go that would be fun for a family or something like that? And so I thought, what better way than doing a video contest? And so we're doing a 30 to 60 second summer fun activity, and it can be anywhere in New England. So it doesn't have to be in Berwick. It can, when you limit it to Berwick, you're going to get the same videos over and over again. So I thought doing New England, at least it's within driving distance, so people could go if they wanted to. And we're going to culminate on Community Media Day, October 20th. So videos would be due by October 10th, and we'd go through, pick out the winners, and we're going to do 3 categories. So there'll be a younger age, and we're looking at like 8 to 14, and then 15 to 20 and 21 and over. And there were big prizes for each category. So, I've already gotten donations from Enzo Benzo Donuts, fun time. And Bad Wolf Butcher has offered some. J. Everly Salon has looked at it, and I'm asking other places to donate as well. Once I have all of that, I'll get some posters made up. We'll put them in all of the locations we can think of, and we're also going to make up a public service announcement to advertise it and get it out there. And then what we'd like to do is culminate, if we can, organize somewhere around the October 20th, a film night where we show all of the videos, not just the winners, but everybody's video, which would be kind of fun. So wanted to make you aware of that. Any questions?
Are you going to also, since the deadline is October 10th, are you also going to send this out with the students at the schools?
That's what I'm hoping, yes. That I talked with one of the committees this last week about how we could get information through to the schools, because they don't always have poster places to put inside. So I'm looking at how we might be able to do that.
That'd be great.
Anything else?
Anybody have any questions?
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. Good evening, Noah.
Yes. Make note that Chair Noah Cobb has joined us via Zoom.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry to be tardy. Signal is a bit of an issue out here in the wilderness.
Yeah, we know you're just sitting over on Worcester Road.
I'm sitting in front of a farm store that has Wi-Fi as well.
Well, we're glad you could join us. Okay, moving to department reports. Do we have any department reports? No, okay. Appointments, presentations, other guests. I see no other guests in the audience. Okay. Unfinished business, the amendments to the land use ordinance, subdivision regulations, village overlay district, and design guidelines.
This is on the agenda just to go over the changes since last meeting. We had a few minor changes based off of board and attorney feedback. These have been reviewed by our land use attorney, and they have the green light to go forward on the ballot. And I'll just go over some of the minor changes. On the land use ordinance amendments under the automotive convenience store and gas station, making a distinction and adding "or" to distinguish from EV charging stations. That's it for gas station changes. There's two more changes. Another one on section 6 under lighting. After speaking with Phil, our attorney, it just made sense to remove. We had an exemption in there from the regulations for temporary lighting. I know what the intent was. It just could set us up for issues down the line. If there's something that glares onto the street and it's temporary, they can say it's temporary. Just eliminates that potential for a conflict down the road.
I.e., it's not defining what temporary is.
Yeah, and just even if it's if it's otherwise would be an illegal light, but it's temporary, why would we allow it? The last change is it's threading the design guidelines and standards ordinance into the land use ordinance. So by creating a performance standards, so every conditional use and site plan through planning board has to meet A through S. It has to be a yes on each one, otherwise it doesn't get accepted. This adds a T, which says that design guidelines and standards, applications for new buildings and structures within the village overlay district and along major corridors of 4, 236, and 9 must conform to the design guide and standards ordinance.
We are taking a vote tonight just to place this on the November ballot, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
So that would be under the new business that would be taking those votes?
That'd be
We
Yeah,
need,
get down to
need to vote on the changes to the amendments first,
Right,
And
and then
then
you'll make your recommendations.
make the recommendations later.
Yes.
Right. I'll make a motion that we accept the amendments as proposed by the town manager per legal guidelines.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the amendments recommended by our legal attorneys. Any discussion?
Yeah, James, just for clarity for people looking on, so number 7, so when we talk about adding the T, we're talking about the, that would actually follow the design guides and standards that we're also going to be putting under too, right?
Right.
Perfect.
It would make it so the applicant would have to show evidence that they have conformed to the design guide and standards.
Perfect.
Any other discussion about the amendments?
Under G, James, it's saying, the Maine Department of Environmental, G and M both seem like they're state or federal regulations. Do those need to be on there?
From an efficiency, GM.
It seems like there'd be a lot more if we included all of them. There's probably a lot more.
It is leaning more on the side of redundancy. It doesn't. I don't think it hurts to have it in there because you could, for anything like that, you could throw. We have some examples of that where it has to meet state standards,
Yeah.
but obviously they have to meet the state standards anyways.
Right. I don't see a problem with leaving it in there. They have to anyways, and this is just, putting it out there in our regulations, telling the developers that, they will have to meet them. That's all it's saying.
Yeah, and probably a lot of others too that aren't there.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for the amendments to be added. Any further discussion? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Noah is an aye. And that is 5-0. Thank you. All right, town manager report.
We have a contractor to move the irrigation where the playground is going to be at Memorial Field. The site work will begin soon. We're just working on invoices and insurance. And once it begins, it'll be 2 or 3 days. So once that's done, we'll be able to schedule installation of the playground.
Nice.
That'll make the residents happy.
Yeah.
A long
Very nice.
time coming. So we recently found out our video security system is a security risk. We're going to need to replace our video system. We initially reached out. We had a safety meeting about a month or two ago with police to go over some best practices. Patty and I met with Two-Way to go over locations. So you'll see a proposal. So while we are needing to replace the system, we'll have an opportunity to improve and have more coverage in important areas in and around Town Hall. Jody and I met with Knowles Industrial out of Gorham. We reviewed some areas that need addressing for water infiltration. Greg from Knowles pointed out how the windows need to be caulked. Seemed like pretty low-hanging fruit. And just explained how water can get in just because it's not caulked properly. Also that some bricks need to be repointed. He also pointed out that our front steps need to be entirely replaced. They are in good enough condition that we can maintain them over the next 5 or so years. But for our capital plans, we should be saving some funds to plan on completely replacing it. And it might be an opportunity to put in a ADA ramp or something while we're at it.
Yeah, James and I were talking with Jody a week or so ago, and Jody said that when they were doing some inspections on the front steps, is everything we see is just a shell over just dirt underneath. There's no real foundation, and everything's starting to fall back in. So, to do it properly, we'll need to take everything out and redo it all. So, and if we're gonna redo it as it looks now or something close, it's gonna be expensive. There's a lot of brickwork. So, it's something we need to look forward to.
Right. They are in okay enough shape to we could do a short-term fix to get us through for 5 years and then save over the 5 years. And just that might be a good 5-year plan. Last thing I have is lawn chairs. Bring your lawn chairs to Sullivan Square this Saturday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Portions of Sullivan Street and Rochester Street will be closed. There'll be bands, food, variety of local performers from the region, and activities for all ages. I'll see you there. That completes my report.
Okay, thank you. All right, select board communications. I have one. We received an invitation from Nassau and Health to tour their facility up there in the Sanford Springville area, and I took the opportunity to go. It was pretty interesting to see how they have collectively put most of the services that are needed in one location to sort of cut down on, oh, you have to go here for this and here for that. They've got mental health, primary care, dental, everything all in one building. And you don't have to have insurance. They have some that use the primary care with insurance because they know they can get everything done there. And then they have sliding scale for those that don't have insurance. But it was just amazing to see how many services they provide in one location. And they also have an incredible network of people, so if you need a specialist, they have connections that even with the sliding pay scale, they can make those appointments happen. So I enjoyed the visit and appreciated them inviting us in from the open house. That's all I have. Does anybody else have anything? No? Okay. Okay, so we already did that, so we're going to go to approval of accounts payable and payroll warrants. So the first one is dated 8/17/2023, payroll warrant number 10 for $91,171.75. The second one is dated 8/3/2023, payroll warrant number 8 in the amount of $92,748.20. Next one is dated August 10th, 2023, payroll warrant number 9, amount of $96,003.25. And an August 15th, 2023, accounts payable warrant number 11 in the amount of $1,039,834.11. Hear a motion.
I'll make a motion, we pay our bills.
A second.
Motion has been made and seconded to pay our bills. Any discussions? All those approve?
Aye.
5-0. Thank you very much. All right. Do we have, next up is the transfer station fees.
This is just to recover some costs. We have, it's a pretty large expense. A full load approaches $10,000 to remove the yard brush. Initially proposed $5 a bag or $5 a yard. Mike emailed me, I think, with some good points that I guess for the typical residential user that probably should be included in the transfer station budget. So to have some way of factoring that in the fee, whether it's the first 3 bags are free. Your first 3 yards are free, and after that, there's some sort of fee. I use the Sanford transfer station. They have a conversion rate I thought was pretty interesting. Just for your information, a small pickup load is about 1.5 yards. So if we wanted to do, it's the first 2 or 3 yards or contractor bags free, then anything after that, $5 per bag or yard. Is there any?
Sounds like it's getting complicated.
I was going to say, did you get any feedback just from down?
Yeah,
I
how
mean,
about why are we doing it to begin with?
it costs money to haul it off.
Of course, yeah.
Do we have anyone else that brings trash in, like other towns or people, businesses like this?
It's mostly just, it would be mostly just like, some of the issues historically with the transfer station is we are subsidizing businesses and contractors by them coming in and dumping off larger than the average user, and they should pay for anything that's above and beyond.
Well, that's what
normal.
I'm wondering. Are they getting charged extra?
Right now, there's nothing in our fee schedule for yard waste.
So how would you track if somebody, are you saying each visit they would get like 1 free or 2 free, or would you have some way of tracking that? Because that, to me, that's what makes it sound complicated.
Right.
I'll bring up what I brought to James, just so. And the only thing I could think of was there are some residents when we're talking about bags, because I think the point of it here is when you have those full trucks or contractors are coming,
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to offset, because that's where there's brush or
Absolutely.
shrubs or everything else. I'm thinking of some of the people that use that are the residents that are. I have some senior residents in my neighborhood that might fill 3/4 of a bag and take it a week. Now you're going to charge them $5 this week. It's 3/4 of a bag next week. And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe they will, maybe they won't. But that's something that they're already paying for. Really, that's kind of.
Right, that's
Yeah, so
what I'm
that's where I
wondering
was
how you
like-
track it.
I mean, I was just thinking if it was a large load. I mean, I was thinking, and I just told James if we want to talk to see with the transfer stations, if it's something that's a large load coming in, like I mean, if I'm unloading a whole bunch of brush, yeah, I understand. I'm paying because I'm
Right.
bringing stuff down.
Right,
But Sally down the street bringing a bag,
right. You got a landscaping truck and you're dumping off a bunch of.
You should be
Yeah,
paying.
I'm-
yeah.
Well, but are they already charged? The landscaping company that drops off there, like, we don't bring our trash, somebody comes and picks it up. Are they bringing it there, and are they getting an increase?
No.
No, not right now.
Shouldn't they be the ones that get an increase? The people that bring it in, that are charging us already?
This would be specifically just for yard waste,
Oh, not for regular trash?
nothing else.
No, no, no.
Oh.
This
No,
is
this is just for
this
like
is
the
just
brush
the
and the
brush
leaves
and-
and.
Oh,
And you know, getting on Mike's topic there is you know, and one of the reasons we had to change things for the demolition waste is that people were saying, "Oh, I don't have a pickup truck. I have 4 bags."
Yeah.
No, that's why we went to buy bag there. Is for the yard waste, you know, you're talking about mostly leaves and grass clippings.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 4 bags free, and after that you have to pay per load. I don't know. You know, that's it. It's hard to.
Yeah, I don't have a number to quantify. I just asked James. I go,
well,
see
like
what they want.
if,
I go,
if you come in with a truckload of brush, it's pretty obvious. You got a
Exactly.
truckload of brush.
Right.
Is well, you know, but you know, if we say, oh, if you come in with bags, we don't need to charge. Is we'll get those people with 10
bag
bags.
and everything. Yes.
Yeah, they will get
Right.
10 bags. So.
I can go back to the.
Yeah, I think there's something we need to think about a little bit.
Yeah,
No.
because at first I was like, oh yeah, that sounds great. I know what we're doing. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, if you get
Yeah.
somebody who's, this is all they can do, a little part of their yard, and now we're charging $5 every weekend when they're going down there,
Right.
you're charging a resident $60 over
Right.
the
I
fall.
agree, yeah.
Yeah,
But I agree, we had to do
But
something.
I do think
because
we
they are
should do
coming
something
in with
to,
truckloads.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Unless we
can
had like a free week of spring cleanup and a free fall cleanup, like a whole week. Anybody could bring it.
we used to do that.
Oh,
You still
and,
got the contractors.
well, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was so successful
Oh, no.
that we didn't have enough room
Yeah.
at the transfer station for all the dumpsters we needed.
Gotcha.
You know, because everybody would wait all year long, and then we needed 15 or 20 dumpsters all of a sudden.
Have you been down there to see what it looks like, because you
And
said
we
you have
bring,
people.
well, right, but for
Okay.
the actual leaves and things, we do go down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And it's just, I think they just push it back. I don't know what
they do, but
with
when
it.
it fills up, it gets hauled off
Yeah.
because it gets too big to. So then we pay every
Right,
time
Because
that
it'll
gets
become a
hauled
fire
off.
hazard if you leave it there.
Yeah.
And we said, what, $10,000 a year right now?
Yeah, it's getting up there.
Yeah, it's about 10,000, like I think a full haul.
Oh,
I've
full
seen,
haul.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's more than 10,000. So yeah, it is something that we need to look at, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
How big of a truck is a full haul?
That's it. If I have an S10,
Well,
I'm
if
gonna
it,
charge the
if,
same as a big Ram?
probably, is it Doucette that comes and takes
Doucette,
it?
yeah.
So a logging truck, basically, would be with all the brush and everything, I would assume.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is what it
I think you're
would be.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Well,
so yeah, that's something
We're
we,
not doing like two bags are covered, and then once after that you're getting into like half truckload, full truckload. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
yeah.
Like we do for the other debris and stuff like that. We do it by half truckload, full truckload situation.
right.
I mean, two bags is not half a truckload, but 4 bags is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, if they can come back with like something like that so that the resident
Yeah.
that only has a bag or a bag and a half is going to
And
get.
we got to make it convenient for the guys at the transfer station too.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to overcomplicate it where they have to be like
it-
out there.
Exactly.
with cash flowing back and forth all the time
Yeah.
and on a Saturday and Sunday it gets pretty confusing. We know that.
It gets busy.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to note too is on this proposed one, you're only giving like 2 weeks' notice. Is there any reason why we can't give people 30 days' notice if we're going to make a change?
Oh, absolutely not. No, it could be October or
Yeah, I just think that because people
Yeah,
don't
you
go
gotta
to the
give them
dump
notice.
every week, and sometimes not every other week. So if you say a month, that someone's going to go to the dump. So everybody would be notified, have something there, have it marked, have BCM cover it, and not that people won't still complain, but you can at least say we gave them 30 days notice of the change. We didn't. Oh, you just slid it in.
See, this here isn't for a regular trash.
That
So we're
would be
going
if it's a
to. We're not
temporary
going to vote on this. We're going to send it back to them.
yes, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So the next is the November 7th, 2023 town referendum, select board recommendations of the warrant articles. Okay. So we need to vote on each individual article? Okay.
The ones with the yes and no vote.
Yes, not Article 1.
No,
Yeah.
right, starting with Article 2.
Yes.
Correct, okay. Okay, so I will read it. Article 2, shall the town vote to adopt the amendments to land use ordinance? Exhibits A are attached herein
There's no motions or anything. You just ask
Just
for the
motion,
vote.
okay, so how many yes votes?
Aye.
Noah, okay. Article 3, shall the town,
Can you ask for no votes?
no votes? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Thank you.
Okay, Article 3. Shall the town vote to adopt the amendments to land use ordinance regarding marijuana? Are there any yay votes?
Yes, aye.
Okay, any no votes? Okay. Article 4. Shall the town vote to adopt the proposed design guide and standards ordinance? Are there any yay votes?
Aye.
Okay, are there any no votes? Okay. Article 5, shall the town vote to adopt the proposed amendments to the village overlay district? Are there any yay votes?
Aye.
Any no votes? Shall the town vote to adopt the proposed amendments to the subdivision ordinance? Are there any yay votes?
Aye.
Are there any no votes?
I could just sidebar here for this one. I have
Yeah,
a little.
and I will abstain from Article 7 as well.
Yep.
I have a little information on this one. I've been talking with our attorney. So this provision has a lot of gray areas in it. It's something that Tom brought up a little bit last meeting. I just want to go over it quickly because the board does have a couple options. One of them is not even including it on the warrant at all. If you guys, I think that's the first vote you guys should take, is whether the article should even be on the ballot, and then do the recommendation. And I'll just go over some information quickly. So at SMPDC, they're split on what they believe what active means. And that's what this hinges on, if it's even able to be petitioned to be accepted by the town. Lee J thinks active means that there's an open lot in the subdivision. Hannah believes that that alone is not considering it active, is that it's literally they were actively constructing in 2019 when we adopted the to no longer take over dead ends. And speaking with Phil, he said that there is some weight in the fact that the road was not completed up until a few weeks ago. We held a construction escrow, and in that sense that it could still be considered active. In the June 2024 ordinance amendments, it's recommended that we eliminate the exemption at all. We just go straight to we are no longer taking over dead-end roads, period. So with that said, it's gray enough that it would be perfectly acceptable to go in either direction, to either include it on the ballot or not. But then if it was included, then making a recommendation. Does that sound okay?
It gets complicated, I know.
Yes.
Is,
So I have a question. If we include it on the ballot, well, let's say that Mike's abstaining. Let's say 4 of us vote not to recommend it. It would still go to the ballot, right?
Yes, with
Okay.
a no vote recommendation.
Okay. My thought is, if there's a gray area and it might cause headache later, it's better to let it be on the ballot and just let the people decide. And, at that point, is there any other roads that could possibly fall into that gray area loophole?
There's a few that are out there. It's not a huge number of roads, in the next available election, we'll fix that and make it much more clear.
Okay, well, I think it's better just to avoid the headache. Let it be on the ballot. We can vote to recommend it or not, and let the people decide if they want to, spend the money to maintain the road.
I'm the one that really pushed to stop the town taking over dead end roads. We can't take care of the roads we already have. I think it's foolish for us to just keep accepting new roads and assuming that sometime in the future we're going to have that money to fix it. I made the argument back then, and I'll make it again, that if it's a through road connecting between 2 existing roads, to me that's one thing, because then it can be used as an emergency way. If the one end is closed or something, then you can do it. But with the dead ends, the cul-de-sacs, and things like that, is the only purpose for that road is to serve the people on that road. It's not to serve the town at all. And like I said, I pushed for that, and we had it. And as this road was brought in and started back into the old rules, and I realized that. But whether we accept to put it on the ballot or not, as I'll say right now, I'm going to vote no, that we recommend the residents vote for it. So.
But what you just said is, when this came up, it did follow the existing rules at the time.
It started, but is by not completing it until this year. How many years has it been in existence? That's been a long, though.
Probably close to 10.
20, no, it's more than 10. It's probably closer to 20 years, isn't it?
I have to double check.
Yeah, and is the one active lot, they have purposely left one lot there, not built on. And all these years, it could have been built on, and they didn't. And when we were looking at property for the fire station, we were looking at a piece further up Pine Hill Road, and it abuts that property all the way down there. And we were told at the time that that lot could be used as the continuation road, through there. So my feeling is they never planned on putting a house in there. They planned on, using that as a right-of-way. But I can't prove that. Like I said, that's just my feeling.
Okay. So, we harp a lot on following the rules as they're written. And so that's why I'm asking, when the road was originally constructed, it fell under the regulations that existed at the time. We've since changed those, but is this grandfathered in? And I use that word very loosely because, like you said, it took 10 years, but did it meet all of the requirements of the town at the time that they built it?
It's built to town standard.
It's built to the town standards now, but it's like I said, I'll put it on the ballot as if that's the board's will.
I think we've closed the loophole and no? Okay.
Can you vote to put it on the ballot?
That's what I'm going to do now.
Okay,
Before I do
thank
that, does
you.
anybody
Okay.
want to comment before I read the article? No. Okay, Article 7. Shall the town vote to accept Chandler's Way as a public right-of-way as requested by residents? Do I have any yay votes?
So is this just to put it on the ballot? So is
Noah? Oh, okay. Do we have any no votes? Nay votes?
So you
Okay.
don't want to put it on the ballot?
Correct. That's what we're voting for, correct?
Okay.
Right.
So there's a motion to not put it on the ballot? Can someone make that
No,
motion?
I'm sorry. I apologize. No, I'm reading this article as this is going on the ballot, and what is our
Okay.
recommendation?
Okay, so it was 0 yes, 4 no's, and 1 abstention.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is what I thought we were doing. Yeah.
Yes, that's, sorry if I said that wrong.
That's okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
good enough.
All right. So, next up, do we have any quitclaim deeds or installment contracts? No. Okay. Abatement supplements? Second, public comment. Anyone from the public? Okay. Do we have an executive session?
Nope.
No. Okay. Other business, non-agenda item, we do have one. What did I do with it? Nope. Hold on 1 second, bear with me.
Is it in the folder?
It's the
It
MMA.
is in your folder under number 19.
Okay. Yes, thank you. I thought it was separate.
It is, but
Thank you. Okay, so the Maine Municipal Association has their annual voting to put people on election of president and executive committee members. The first one is for vice president, which is a one-year term. There is one person nominated, Melissa Doan, town manager of the town of Bradley. Do I have any, do we need a motion?
No, you can just ask it.
Yeah.
Who votes for her?
Who votes to approve, Ms. Doan?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Any no votes? Thank you. Next up is the executive committee members for 3-year terms. There are 3 openings, and there are 3 nominated committee members.
Yay.
Shiloh Lafreni, town manager, the town of Jay. Nathaniel Rudy, the town manager, the town of Gray. Dino Walker, select person, town of Weld. And I apologize if I mispronounced anyone's name.
They're not listening.
Okay. Do we have any yay? Do we have to vote them individually or
No, just-
no? Great. So do we have any yay votes to approve all 3 of those candidates?
Aye.
Any no votes? Flying colors.
You want the job, you can have it. That's the
Yeah.
Yes.
I have something quickly for just the other business.
Okay.
We had a note sent in from Allison Hurley at Bad Wolf requesting changing of the parking timings in front of the businesses. That's something that we probably want to just have a more broader. It's probably something we need more discussion about. But I did want to just address one suggestion she had in our municipal lot, something that I was looking at. When you pull into our lot, we have some signage that makes it seem like it's all for town hall employees. So something I've talked with Jody about, that's pretty low-hanging fruit, is just addressing some of the signage, adding in Monday through Thursday, 8 to 6. That way, when town hall's closed, folks are, they feel like they can use our parking lot. They still can't park overnight, things like that. There's still other, snow emergencies and things of that nature. But just so, once Corner Point fills up, they can actually feel like they can use our municipal lot and not park in front of businesses that need more of those short-term uses. So just wanted to share that as it was
So did Allison want the time reduced? It's like 2-hour parking, right?
Yeah, she suggested something shorter. I mean, anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes in front of her building.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't have any problem with it being 30-minute parking on the street, but that's a discussion for another day that we can have.
Oh, we can bring out.
And who would enforce it?
That would be police.
Do we have any input from the police department on that?
We should. It'd be
the
more
feedback-
money, too.
Because they don't really do a whole lot of parking enforcement currently right now, do they?
One of their feedbacks is, they had asked for another staff, and they said that they'd be happy to help. I mean, they obviously would be happy for it, but I think they would be able to enforce more and do more with an extra full-time.
And what about
staff
parking
member.
on the side of the building here? It'd be less than a full-time person, on the side of the building. Remember I'd spoken to you about that?
Oh yeah, that one. We've talked about that. They just public safety. Both chiefs are unified, and their concern is so if you have passenger side opening up on Rochester Street, because it's more downhill. People are going pretty fast. Their concern is a child kind of just opening the door and not really getting out and getting struck by
Yeah, but they could do it here, too, on both sides.
They park right in front of the town hall on this side. No.
It's also possible to maybe just have the parking on the other side of Rochester Street.
Yeah, but it sounds a lot better than getting another employee to do parking.
The basis of her concerns were more so for people running in and out, right, and not having a parking spot.
Having spots directly in
So
front
have
of the
we
business.
discussed with Jody or even the chief about even just trying to make 3 or 4 spots right in front of the businesses while construction's going on, just parking for pick up right there or 20-minute parking, just allocate 3 or 4 spots there? Is that something that could be potential to do?
I think if we wanted to discuss doing 2 directly in front of that business, that would accommodate both the future pizza shop and Bad Wolf. I think that would be that wouldn't adversely affect the other businesses.
But that's only, because you're only talking about in front of that building, so you also have Mint, who's there, and so you're saying 2 spaces.
Has
only
Subway
gonna
or
get
Gavin Duke
worse.
ever asked about anything?
We've had that discussion with them in the past about the little parking lot by the memorial, by the statue.
Okay, yeah.
And right in front of them is, we've altered those parking times several times in the past few years. It used to be only 2-hour parking in the little parking lot, and I think we eliminated that, and I don't think there are any more 2-hour parking signs in the little lot. And there hasn't seemed to be a problem with it.
Like Mint, so with Mint's more like an hour stay, and the gym probably more like an hour stay as well.
Yeah.
So they both utilize.
But the other thing too is, it's a very point, you put these signs up there that say 30-minute parking, and then someone's there for an hour because they're running to the gym or Porta-Potty or something like that. Now they're going to be calling the police. I got a parking complaint. That's why I think that you should have their input too. Are they going to be able to monitor that during the day?
How many
Write these
apartments are
tickets?
going in the middle, in there?
265
How
over the
many?
next 265 over the next 4 years.
Okay. And they're all gonna have ample parking with guest parking and,
There'll be 300 parking spaces in the middle. They're providing 300 parking spaces, and across the street there'll be 100. So you'll see Saturday nights, maybe Thursday nights, Friday nights. You might see it'll get busy. It'll be busy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, parking's gotta be a problem going forward.
You need to have
So-
some sort of
Any-
parking plan.
Any place worth going to has parking problems.
That's
you
right.
know,
I agree
any-
with you 100%.
But
What
we
about
do
a
need to
meter?
be proactive. We do
Would
need
that
to
help?
be. It's got to be.
meter?
It's got to
Yeah.
be.
But the money, oh,
I mean, you got to remember, all visitors to town hall park there too. We can't limit them to 30 minutes.
No, and that's why
And we shouldn't
that's why I was
meter
just that's why I was
them
asking
either.
if allocating
Right,
a couple
to come in and pay
spots
their
would be
taxes.
Right,
Somewhere
come pay
in
your
the middle,
taxes and
you
pay
know.
to do it too.
well, that front parking should be for just
That
town
sounds like
hall.
something we need to keep working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to really just report I think like I said, the low hanging fruit is our municipal lot. Very coincidentally, I was taking a look at the parking signs. The day I took a look at them, someone pulled up to me and asked if they could park there.
Yeah, I mean, if we think changing the verbiage on the signs is going to help with flow there, then by all means, I think that's an
one-
inexpensive way
one
to,
small
to try
step.
to at least, you know.
But any other changes like you guys talked about, it can get complicated. If you time something over here, it can affect over here, so it needs to be looked at comprehensively.
I think there needs to have a bigger look at it, and you got to have input from the police department if you're going to ask them to monitor it and write tickets.
And they're gonna say
Honestly,
they want
I
an
don't-
employee.
Yeah.
I don't think we need too much enforcement in that. I feel like people, as a rule, people are mostly good. If you put up a sign that says 30-minute parking, they're going to aim to do that. But if the sign says 2 hours, they got plenty of time to just sit there. So, I don't know how much enforcement is really needed if you put up a sign that says 30-minute parking, but, just my thought.
Well, it's a Tuesday night, so it's trivia night at Corner Point. So they're going to be there a while. And I want to run in and buy sausage at their place. I'm looking for a place to park. So then I think it's not going to be the people. I think it's going to be you find the only space you can. When I'm coming here to get to the meeting at 6:30, there's nothing on a Tuesday night because I know they have an event going on. So I'm always in that
Yeah,
other
I'm
far
around
lot.
that too.
So I agree with you. I think that most people are going to try to be respectful, but I also think then the businesses, if they see the signs, they're going to expect that, oh, I know that car's been sitting there for 45 minutes. I'm going to call the police. I just think, I think that we need to look at it and we need to bring everybody to the table and say what's going to work and what isn't. And get everybody's feedback before we go putting up 30-minute signs. I understand her concern because, yeah, if you have a business, you want people to come in and out. But
Solving a problem here can definitely cause problems in other
Yeah.
areas.
exactly, there's a connection, there's a ricochet effect.
I think putting some more thought into it and then actually bringing in the businesses to have a conversation with everybody. That's
Sounds like a workshop day.
I was just going to say, it sounds like maybe we should put a workshop together. And I'm sure that Noah will be happy to get that organized on his return.
Sure. I have a non-agenda item to bring up. I just want to remind people that this weekend is lawn chairs at Berwick. We have everything going on. It's the 19th. Please come out and show support for the community and have fun.
Absolutely.
Thumbs up, everybody.
Absolutely. Okay. Have any other non-agenda items?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Uh,
All those opposed?